Hi, everybody. It is Fridays with Sue and Steph, but on Tuesday. So whatever. Hope you guys are having a good week. Hopefully a little surprise in the week. Today's topic is about the things in COVID that we would like to keep. So I'm going to start. I want to keep, this is like a general blanket over all of it, which is some of it is just the simplicity. So there is something that, pardon me, I feel like there was an ease and a slower pace, not at work, but but in like life and on the weekends. I feel like there was just a lot more latitude, and I really like that. And really right under that is keeping the casual clothing that goes with COVID. And I'm not sure I can go back to regular clothing. I look at everything in my closet and think, not sure I'm wearing any of it. But I would go with the simplicity. How about you?
Well, first I want to say that I apologize because every day of the week, I'm not sure what day it is. And now we just made Fridays with Sue and Steph on Tuesday. So
maybe it really is Friday.
Well, our apologies to adding any additional confusion to the rest of your day.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is really hard as someone who is completely vaccinated to look back at kind of as dismally as I felt just a short time ago. Like I'm already feeling this spring and the blue skies and the birds chirping and being vaccinated all as like kind of this cyclical experience, and having a little bit of a hard time getting back into the headspace of what was so challenging. But one of the things I will say is that my experiences in my friendships during COVID were very small and select. And I just love that. Yeah. So we did go to a party where pretty much everyone was vaccinated. And I just realized, like, you know, given the choice, I'd rather, I mean, we ended up sitting with another couple. We were all literally it was like you were at a restaurant with, and so everyone was at individual tables, and but we were sitting next to friends, not next to them, and we'd all been vaccinated. So we just pushed the tables together, which made it like a lot more fun. But in general, like sitting with two friends on my porch, it was just kind of magical. And I mean, some of that magic will disappear because we were so grateful for being able to see each other, for having a porch, for having heaters, for like being able to see people that, you know, for many, it wasn't a possibility anywhere. So that gratitude, like, did make it seem more magical than maybe we would feel under different circumstances. But, you know, it was like just something so small led to so much gratitude. And how do you sustain that? Is there a way to sustain the things? Now, you know, I want to add in one caveat. For many people, there were lifelong tragedies that they'll never recover from. And so we are really distilling this down to we're blessed to be sitting here at this moment, and we are blessed to be fortunate enough to not have had death and loss of jobs and all of those things. But being in that position, being able to think back and say, like, there were some leveling of the playing fields that I feel so grateful for.
I think it's well, when you were just saying, like, how do we keep that? I think it reminds me of a lot of experts we talk to that talk about gratitude journals, and, you know, saying something that you're grateful for every day. That would be a really lovely thing to keep, you know, just thinking about that. And I think, you know, I am someone who's always liked those small gathering, the one-on-one, you know, it feels like less pressure. And I felt like I didn't have to make excuses for it in COVID. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm always apologizing for that. Like, if we have plans with another couple, they're like, oh, do you mind if we bring so-and-so, or should we invite? And I'm like, and then it puts me in a weird, I'm like, it changes the whole conversation, because maybe what I was going to talk to this couple about, and I'm like, wait, do they know that? And then it inevitably brings the conversation very surfacey, and I like to be down here. And then I feel bad that I said, no, don't include them. But I don't want to include them because I want to just have it just with the couple we made the plans with, you know? So I feel like I was less apologetic.
I also like, if I look at my kids and think about our relationships, there were a lot of ups and downs because of intensity of time together.
Yes.
But I think, you know, there is a blessing in that. Not so much fun living through it, but there's a blessing in knowing each other better and being able to kind of be more gracious about our humanity and our failings, because we couldn't survive otherwise with so many people under one roof and trying to figure out how to navigate it. So that, I think, continues just because the relationship changed. So, you know, for families who had little kids struggling through this, hopefully there's some similar, you know, wow, how hard, just so hard.
I think that all the time. You know, I've talked to clients who have a 4 and 6 year old at home or a 7 and 9 year old. And I'm like, oh my God. In fact, it's funny. 2 of my college roommates have, 2 of them, each family has 2 girls, same grades, 9th and 7th. And we were on a call with the roommates the other night, and they both said, thank God. I was thinking, oh my God, poor Mary and poor Susan, that their kids are so young. But they both said they were grateful for the ages of their kids because they are independent enough. And so they were saying they felt bad for people who had younger kids. So it was interesting to hear their perspective, because they felt
in a lot of ways, middle school was an easier time for some people, because school can be so awful.
Oh my God.
So like the virtual might not have been as horrible. And high school kids were so desperate not to be with their families. So it might have, I don't know, if anyone has middle school kids, did you find it was a sweet spot? Because I could see how like you escape some of the social terror of middle school.
So
and
true.
You don't actually hate your parents quite as much. So it could be, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I feel like we've talked about this before, about what it's going to, back to like kind of, you and I both have more adultish children, and what it's going to look like when they go to study those relationships. Because I always think when I was in 7th grade, my brother left for college, and then there's my sister in between. So Arn left me. I was a 7th grade girl. I would make the argument he might still see me as that 7th grade girl. And he certainly did for a long time. Maybe we're moving out of that in my 50s, but I think you just go back to where you all lived together. And so I thought it was really interesting that and same with Lane. So she was in 7th, Zach left for college. Okay. And then when she was in 10th, Ethan left for college, but they came home to an 18-year-old woman, you know, so it's just really interesting. And I watch those relationships change. And I wonder, like, from a family dynamic standpoint, like what research will show about some of those sibling relationships. Like, you know, there's so many things that like the time has to pass, right? So that you can see, or like, you know, we talk about, what's the phrase, you know, it's so, is it latency? Like how our kids are hitting adulthood. Is it, what do they call it? What's the phrase in, oh boy, I can't think of it. I think it's,
I don't know what you're trying to say.
It's like when they're, how our kids are becoming adults, there's like a longer adolescence.
Delayed adolescence?
Maybe that's just, it sounds like an oxymoron. I don't know, whatever. But so I'm curious, like what, you know, when we look back in 10 years or 20 years and say, oh, we see that the siblings or the families that are, I don't know. I always wonder, because I could, you know, I saw some of that changing before my eyes. And I think it's so interesting, and comparing it to my own.
So we brought up middle school because of your roommates, and we're actually about to start planning a transition from middle school to high school program. So if anybody on here has middle schoolers that are going to be rising 9th graders, we actually would love to connect with you. So we'll add your Jippy, we'll put yours up and in 1 second. But see, you have a 10-year. Okay, I'm going to add that. I'm mumbling now. Sorry, guys. But if you have a kid who's a rising 9th grader and you want to connect with us, because we would love to get some information from you and your input before we plan this next program, you can email. I'm going to put it right here. You can email editor@yourteenmag.com if you have a rising high school freshman. And if you know anybody else, let us know. Okay, so let's just share some comments. Ejippy says, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm sorry. That's so important to me, the mental health of my 14 and 10-year-old. The 10-year-old connects with her friends on the video games, and the 14-year-old connects to her friends through FaceTime. Both are attending school virtually. I also do biweekly checkups on them to make sure everything is okay. Wow, that is really good parenting, that check-in. That's excellent. So hopefully you're seeing a future that has in-person, but it sounds like you weathered this one pretty well. And Nolene, I think she has a young adult. Or maybe she was referencing what you were.
What I was trying to get at, but I can't find my words. Yeah.
Anyhow, okay. So we just wanted to pop in and say hi to you guys and not let a week go by without hearing from us. We know how important that is.
I mean, talk about devastating.
All right. So everyone have a great week. This is not Friday. This, in fact, is Tuesday, but we will see you.
You can watch it on Friday if you want.
We will see you on a week from Friday, hopefully, if all goes well.
Yes.
And I'll be here on Friday with somebody. My Tuesday expert will be on Friday, so we'll let you know who that is. Nolene here will share this. You have a 20-year-old young adult son. I've gone through these ages. I'm a postpartum doula. Oh, nice. That must be lovely and hard, right?
Yeah.
Postpartum.
That's a friend I'd like to have in my portfolio, a doula. It'd be so supportive. You must be a very supportive person.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.